Thank you so much, Mr. Fernando, for the introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, and thank you very much for attending this panel. Let me address my compliments and thanks also to Regione Liguria for having built that amazing booth. And now joking a little bit, giving me the chance to moving forward with my presentation to this wonderful screen. I assume they have done it because of my diopters that are similar to a mole. Said that, this morning we have had the chance to listen to distinguished speakers about the potential of the Ligurian port and the big investment that are behind, with $3 billion and more than 30 ongoing projects that will give a net value to our wonderful territory. Let me introduce myself. I'm Andrea Giacchero. I'm part of the Spediporto team, and Spediporto is the most important and bigger Italian association for freight forwarders, custom brokers, terminalists and couriers, and we represent close to 300 companies and 12,500 approximately professionals. Let me, before starting with the presentation, let me do a little digression on the point, and using also a few words of a young Italian singer from his last and recent song, that is Bresh, that is speaking about breakdown of love. Who land in Genoa, the visitors, but also the Genoese, as a breakdown of love, because only flying on our wonderful city in a sunny day, of course, have the chance to start and to see our magic tongue of land between hills and sea. Starting from Portofino, that is one of the most famous places in the world, seeing all the wonderful Genoese Riviera, arriving to the most important bigger historical center in Europe, and arriving to the door of the Med Sea, because we are the most important, one of the most important port in Europe, and for sure the number one of the Med Sea. Then arriving to and seeing all the terminals, the fruit terminals, the cruise terminals, the ferry terminals, the metal terminals, till land at the Cristoforo Colombo Airport. So this is to say, I'm sorry, I have been a little bit long before starting with my presentation, but in order to say to everyone that Genoa is more than ready, Genoa cannot wait the time to see you as visitors and to see your commodities, because we treat every kind of commodities. We have the knowledge, we have the facilities, the physical and also digital facilities, the capabilities, in order to make things happen in the way you are looking for. Today, we treat the import and export procedures for perishable goods. Of course, we start with an overview of European legislation of goods subject to the BCP, or the border control point. The border control point points are offices of the Ministry of the Health that authorized to carry on veterinary phytopathology to check and inspect live animals, food with animal origin, feeds, plants, fruit, vegetables, items that are in contact with this kind of food and vegetables, fruit. Of course, we will speak about International Plant Protection Convention, Control Regulation 2017-625, and Phytosanitary Regulation 2016-2031. Speaking of Phytosanitary Regulation 2016-2031, of course we have to speak about export, EU export to third countries, and re-export to EU plants from third countries also. The export of a plant, vegetable or object to third countries requires, of course, a phytosanitary certificate issued by the competent authority, by the IPPC, that is the International Convention for the Protection of Plants, and of course the relevant international standards. The IPPC is an intergovernmental treaty signed by 180 countries, aiming to protecting the world's plant resources from spread and introduction of pests, and of course promoting a safe trade. About the pre-export, pre-export certificate, speaking about the Article 102, the authorities of the state, of course, from which fruit, plants, vegetables, or other objects are exported, exchange the necessary phytosanitary information to issue the pre-export phytosanitary certificate. Of course, in order also to check the presence of the absence of harmful organisms, plants, vegetables, as we said before, objects. Origin of plants, vegetables, also the status of harmful organisms. They certify the site of production, the location of the production, the origin, the inspection results, and the phytosanitary procedures applied to the production or transformation of the plant, vegetables, or object. The pre-export certificate is issued upon the request of the professional operator who is moving forward with the plants, vegetables, or objects during their movement within the European countries, European territories, and certify, of course, their conformity. The pandemic has of course, has changed completely our worlds, also in terms of digitalization, because it's becoming extremely important, and on this side, Genoa is pay attention to moving forward on this aspect. And in fact, from today, the Commission, from recently especially, the Commission established an electronic system for the transmission of notification by member states, and is connected and how can I say, compatible with the management information system for the European official control. That's it. I'm sorry that, okay. Of course, as soon as the goods is arriving, what is important is a European platform called Traces, and we, through the border control points, we have to notify through Traces, that is a trade control and export system, that report all the information needed, the certification and control of import, export and the trade of animals and animal origin products. Of course, we have to load on this communitary platform all the documentation, the identification of the importer and the phytosanitary certificate. Here are the Italian BCP or border control point and the Traces portal notification. So our country is perfectly covered in order to provide the service that the importer or the exporters are looking for. About our tongue of land, as we were telling today, here we have the